All right, coming at you from the greatest bar. It is the Causeway Street Podcast. Josue Pavone on the mic. I got Joel Pavone to the left of me. We're one guy short.
No, you're not.
Mr. Sean. Oh, wait, no, that's Nick Gelso.
That's like
Nick Gelso is to the right of me. You don't look like Sean.
Me filling in for Dutra is like, I don't know, Kelly Olynyk filling in for Gordon Hayward. Doesn't even make sense.
Go with that. I was like, I wonder how high up are we going here?
I didn't know where I was going with it either. I'm just glad to be here, man.
Happy New Year, fellas. Just getting out the way real quick.
Yeah, let's get that out the way. Happy New Year. Of course, everyone watching us, we appreciate it. Of course, Happy New Year. And we got this huge matchup, guys. The Celtics and Cavs. No Isaiah Thomas, but we still got a great game that's going to take place right across the street. I mean, it's the first time we're seeing Kyrie versus LeBron James at TD Garden, the place where LeBron James, let's face it, I mean, he gets it done in Boston, right?
He averages more points against the Celtics than any other team in the league.
Averages near 30 points in his entire career against the Celtics, and he's had some signature games in Boston. And, this could be no different what we're going to see. But first things first, we got to talk about what Isaiah Thomas is going through the last couple of days. I mean, he made his debut. Wasn't going to be able to come on and show Celtics fans what they're missing out on. But he did put out a legitimate performance against the Portland Trailblazers.
Sure did.
I know Nick doesn't want to hear that because Nick is on the other side of the fence of things because of what happened before the game.
I see that smirk like he wants to say something. He wants to say something.
Let's get right into it. We'll make it as quick as we can. I mean, of course, he had a lot to say. For starters, he wanted the Celtics to push back the tribute video that they had planned right here in Boston Wednesday night at TD Garden. What's your take on that, fellas? Nick, I'll let you start because I know there's two sides of the fence here. Some people took it as he wanted to, or I should say not wanted to, but some people took it as that wasn't the right thing to do because of the Paul Pierce having his jersey retirement ceremony on the same night. That's the next time the Cavaliers are going to be in town. Other people thought that it wasn't that big of a deal. We'll get to the tweets in a second. Nick, what was your initial reaction to the report that he didn't want to have the tribute video Wednesday night?
I understand his reasoning. To have his family there, to want to celebrate with them, I guess. I don't know what it's a tribute to him in front of them. I understand that, but I don't understand why he would have a say in that. You know what I mean? It's the franchise that's putting on the tribute for him. I mean, we're here at the greatest bar in Boston, and I don't know if the camera's picking up the view of the montage behind us, but these are Celtics legends right here. These guys didn't demand when their tribute or their jersey retirement was going to be. Hell, they were just thrilled to be honored. And I don't have so much of a problem with him saying, hold off on it, as much as I do with him, what the alternative would be, which is place it on Paul Pierce Day. Paul Pierce is not going to have that. That's not going to happen.
I don't know, though. I don't think he's going to have an issue with a minute or minute and a half video at the end of the first quarter when he has a whole ceremony after the game, because it's a Sunday afternoon game.
Well, how do you know he has it after the game?
Oh, the Celtics already said it. Yeah, it's going to be after the game.
Oh, so that's out there now. I knew it was a 30-minute.
I think because he's quote unquote co-signed Isaiah Thomas in the past as like he's a great Celtic, even though his time here was short, 2.5 seasons. But I don't know. Isaiah grew on me in the sense that he plays with his heart on his sleeve. When people doubted him, including myself, I was like, I don't think he's just someone that can lead, a team to a championship. I mean, now we'll never know. But at the same token, when Tom Brady says, "Yo, this dude was the real deal," Paul Pierce.
But Joel,
it's like this.
He was legends. He was co-signed by Boston legends.
Yeah, you just talked about legends. If they are like, this guy was the real deal, had he stayed here or not, and at the same time, the Celtics, the Celtics obliged not doing the ceremony or the tribute, whatever they're going to do for him tonight.
I think they should run it anyway.
I think they did that because they still feel like crap for trading him.
Well, I don't think they feel like
I think so.
I think so. This ceremony means more to Isaiah than the Celtics organization. Can we say that?
I think it means more, well, on a normal basis, it would mean more to the fans than the player. Like Ray Allen, it meant more to the fans to boo him than it did, right?
Well, then,
he chose to leave, though. That's it.
Okay.
That's the difference.
That's the difference. But he was also here 7 years and won a championship.
Right.
I don't know any player. I mean, let's go down the list. I mean, I could go down the list of great Celtics players who have made a great impact in 2 seasons and are not getting on it at all, let alone refusing.
Yeah, but Nick,
This is much different. He's a different breed, man.
Who put up a better scoring season besides Larry Bird? I mean, this is legendary stuff. This is one of the
legendary
best
stuff is when you win championships.
I get that, Nick. I'm not saying retire the man's jersey, but I'm saying at the same time, I
think
respect the
Isaiah
Celtics. I respect the Celtics respecting his choice. You know, it looks like they're going to push this thing back.
Well, I understand.
Don't know if it's going to be on Paul Pierce's night, but I don't think it's that big of a deal.
People assume it's going to be on Paul Pierce's day.
We're all assuming that, except Mike Gorman. I don't know if you heard Gorman this morning.
Yeah, definitely no.
And I agree with Gorman. Well, you know, he's my. I'm hit.
Yeah, that's your guy.
That's my bromance is Mike
Gorman.
Gorman.
Well, he says that he doesn't think that Danny Ainge will push it back until Paul Pierce night, right?
Yeah, he pretty much said he didn't think it was going to happen on Paul Pierce Day. He said that's Paul Pierce Day. And I was surprised at Gorman's take on it, but I have to say I agreed with him. You know,
he's a huge fan of Isaiah Thomas.
He's a huge fan of Isaiah, and that's the point here. I'm a huge fan of Isaiah. I mean, we've been supplying the Players Tribune with footage for the book of Isaiah the last 3 parts. I mean, they've been pulling all our pressers left and right. If I didn't like Isaiah, I could have denied it. We didn't make any money on it. The point of the matter is I respect what he did. Everything you said, Joel, I agree with.
Yeah.
He made this tremendous impact. It was so special of a 16 months, let's say.
Yeah.
That now his whining and kicking and screaming and baby and bitching, it has tainted it to a point where fans are now saying, whoa, wait a minute.
I just think people are just so quick to forget the stuff, not just the on the court stuff in the community. That a lot of players, including Ray Allen,
we saw what Jaylen Brown said about he was the first guy, one of the first people to reach out to him after he lost his best friend.
You mean to
Al
tell
Horford
me?
Talked about his work ethic.
You mean to tell me
that meant a lot to not just the team but the community.
You mean to tell me that he wouldn't have gotten that in his tribute? I mean, Kelly Olynyk got the Heroes Among Us. Isaiah Thomas did 10 times more.
So this would be their way of saying thank you. Just that little minute and a half video.
I agree.
You know?
But not on Paul Pierce.
But people are treating it as if he wants his jersey raised or it's not that kind of.
Because that's how he's behaving. Because usually when your jersey gets raised, you bring in your third cousins and your stepchildren and everybody. You know,
and then they all have to sit there and watch Isaiah Thomas' tribute video. Is that what you're saying?
So he
just wants his wife and kids. That's it.
Well, you know what? Then he should have arranged for his wife and kids to be here today. Why is he not playing tonight? Don't tell me no back-to-backs. They could have arranged that he played for this game, but the Cavs are pussies. They don't want Isaiah to go out and have a speaker in front of TV.
I completely agree about that, but the Cavs.
Okay? Well, I think at the same time, though, Isaiah doesn't want a minute restriction. And Cleveland's like, wait a minute, Isaiah. We know we want you. We know you want to get back at the Celtics, but we're going to have to put you on a minute restriction.
I love you. He scored, 18 points in 17 minutes last night, or vice versa?
17 points in 19 minutes.
Okay, so
But you think Isaiah would want to come back to the Garden and only play 19 minutes?
I think that if that's
no
what
chance.
It is. Listen.
And off the bench?
No chance.
Well, you know what? If it wasn't for Danny Ainge, he'd still be coming off the bench. Because Danny Ainge brought him to Boston.
For Marcus Smart getting injured, he would be coming off the bench.
Nobody believed in Isaiah Thomas. They brought him here and everybody said, we have another Nate Robinson. Danny Ainge did as much for Isaiah Thomas, including this trade, which puts him on a championship contender when he wasn't going to re-sign him anyway. Yeah. I love IT.
But here's another reason.
For his own career in a contract season, this ain't going on Celtics blog, so I'm just going to say, shut the fuck up, Isaiah. It's time. It's time.
Well, one guy who agrees with you is definitely Jimmy Murphy of CLNS Media.
Well, yeah, before you make the transition there, right? Because I want to go there too, but he's hurting himself. He's in a contract season. The Brinks truck
he's not
hurt
hurting himself. You know why? Because he
sounds like Tucho over here, huh?
Well, his play, he knows his play is going to back up his words. That's the thing.
Well, I don't.
And if it doesn't, then people can say all they want. And they can say, you know what? You know, he talked a lot for someone who couldn't back it up. But in my opinion, he's going to back it up. I mean, I really do believe that. I've been saying that from day one. The reason why I still have Cleveland Cavaliers way over the Celtics.
And I believe he may get his max contract from Cleveland because LeBron is going to fly the coop and they need a face of the franchise like the Celtics needed. Isaiah filled that role perfectly. Let him do it in Cleveland. Let's move on.
All right, real quick, before we move on. Jimmy Murphy, he wanted to specify what he meant by the whole tweet.
Let's start with who Jimmy Murphy is. He's not a fan, as some bloggers were.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. So Jimmy Murphy's been covering the Bruins for quite some time now. He tweeted out to Isaiah, I'm sure everyone's familiar with it by now, called him someone who has a bigger ego than LeBron James, which is saying a lot.
I think he's there.
From somebody who
he told him to get over himself.
You think Isaiah's there? I'm not sure he's quite there, but Isaiah didn't appreciate that. Of course, he tweeted back at him. He quoted his tweet, and he blocked him.
Oh, Isaiah
really?
Isaiah
didn't know that.
King of blocking.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Yeah. So I got back at him and said that the same thing that we talked about. It's about his family. It's not just about him. He wants his family there, and
which you didn't know,
which no one really knew until he specified, right?
No, thank you, Jimmy Murphy, for
Jimmy Murphy got it out of him,
out.
Right? And when he also wanted to add on, I told him I would relay this because I tried to get him on tonight, but unfortunately he's under the weather, so he couldn't join us because I was going to have him come in here.
This Boston weather
and explain himself.
To the bitch.
Who, Jimmy?
Yeah, I was going to have Jimmy come in here and explain himself, but he couldn't make it. He says, look, this is the whole thing that bothers him the most about this is that you're taking it away from Paul Pierce. I get it. A lot of people feel the same way Jimmy does. I don't think that was Isaiah's intention. Maybe he did know, maybe he didn't. However, I think at the end of the day, he just wants to play. He wants to be in that moment, be in uniform, and perform in front of that crowd in that moment.
He could have played.
And I don't blame him. He could have played, but he didn't want to play in a minute restriction. There's no way he was going to play in a minute restriction.
Isaiah really, really has a hard time dealing with when he doesn't get his own way.
I don't know about that. He didn't get his own way for like 1.5 his career before he came here. And even then, he wanted to start. And
now that he's got a taste of fame, sounds like he's having a hard time.
It's not about the taste of fame.
I never heard of anybody asking the most famed franchise in NBA, maybe in all sports, alongside with the Yankees.
His chip on that shoulder attitude. He's always had it though. He's always had it though.
You know what? I'm a 5'7" fat guy that wanted to play in the NBA. I got a chip on my shoulder too now.
But what did I say? What did I say at the beginning, Nick? One of the best offensive scoring seasons that we've ever seen in the NBA, and people are still doubting him. Like, what do you expect from Isaiah? Isaiah's always been like this.
Who is doubting him?
Everyone, since he went down with the hip. What do you mean who's doubting him?
First of all,
he's not going to be the same.
When he went
he's
down,
5'9", he's almost 30, he's done.
Not when he went down with the hip. When he got traded, because then we got more information about the hip.
The two coincide with each other.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they go hand in hand.
No, because they were trying to.
He's going to be out till December. Oh, he's done. Oh,
trust me. I spoke with a lot of people who weren't favor of the trade. They were like, no, this is a huge mistake. But we didn't know about the hip. We didn't know how bad. Here we are in January, and he's only played one game.
But Joel,
you know what I mean?
And I'm not to pump my own tires, but in the playoffs last year, I was saying he's getting traded. Period.
Well, you said his stock was high. Of course, that goes.
I think I'm on the garden report a couple times saying he will not be a member of this team when it comes to contract time.
But is it fair to say that Danny got lucky that Kyrie demanded a trade? If not, like.
Yes,
you're still with that dilemma. Should he? Does he deserve a max contract or not?
Absolutely. Because had Kyrie not demanded the trade, Danny could have dumped him off in whereverville, the bottom of the East. Instead, he put him on the top team in the Eastern Conference, and Isaiah's still whining. You know what, though? It's a great advertisement for the Boston Celtics. He's still kicking and screaming his way. I'm surprised Cleveland let him even come to the game tonight because he may need to be drug out by the end of the night because he so badly doesn't want to leave the Boston Celtics.
Okay, so the plot thickens between these two teams, of course. No love lost in terms of this rivalry and the soap opera that's been continuing to go on since the summertime. Jackie McMullen dropped a bomb this morning.
As usual, Jackie.
Amazing article.
Jackie Mac.
The best.
Came through. Of course, I can imagine she's been putting this together for months. And I put this piece together about Kyrie Irving and how he believed the Cavaliers didn't want him there before he made the trade request. Irving believes that LeBron James' camp orchestrated a 3-team trade deal that we was talking about on draft night that would have brought in Eric Bledsoe and Paul George to the Cleveland Cavaliers. Phoenix, of course, which is the same report that we heard around draft time, backed out. They didn't want to let go of that number 4 pick in the draft. So the talks went down. But however, McMullen's source, unnamed source, says that those trade talks occurred, but those sources denied that LeBron James knew about it. However, Kyrie Irving doesn't believe it. Who's telling the truth here? Do you think Kyrie Irving is onto something here, or do you think that this was sort of something that was the final straw in him saying, like, you know what, I'm out of here. I don't want to be in Cleveland anymore.
I believe Kyrie.
Okay.
I think it was an ongoing thing. I think that might have been the final straw.
I think we've been speculating this for months now. If Kyrie Irving got traded, or if there was any conflict between the two, which clearly they couldn't get along, if you're LeBron James, you got Eric Bledsoe coming, you got Paul George. Is anybody else saying duh right now?
Well, was it?
Of course LeBron James knew about this.
But was it Phoenix?
Orchestrated about this.
But was it Phoenix? Phoenix. I know they're kicking themselves for that.
Yeah, they backed out.
Yeah.
Right.
Phoenix was the list on Kyrie's list, wasn't it? Wasn't that one of his teams?
Yes.
Yeah,
right?
but that was after
That's
he made
right.
the demand.
It was the only non-winning team, I think,
It was them in New York, one of those two.
Team,
yeah.
Which could have been his way of saying, look, I know the deal you guys had on the table. If you want to spark those talks again, I have no problem going to Phoenix. However, I believe that LeBron James probably orchestrated this thing. I mean, if you're LeBron James, why wouldn't you? Wouldn't you want that?
Definitely.
Wouldn't you want a different score in the backcourt and then someone like Paul George in the front court alongside with you?
You may have been the guy to ask it on media day, but I think it might have been you that got Kyrie talking. But he had mentioned that he went overseas when the story leaked. He implied it was leaked from LeBron's camp. I believe it was. There's only one area, and I can't find it on your notes here, where
LeBron James said that
Tyronn Lue was pissed off.
Yeah, I'm going to get to that right now. I'm glad you brought that up. But no, one thing I wanted to add as well. LeBron James was asked by Jack McMullen about this.
Yeah, I love this.
Looked at her and said, "That makes absolutely no sense,"
and then smiled,
smirked, and walked away.
Right.
I don't know. Sounds like Kyrie might have something. He might be onto something here.
No, I mean, the Kyrie being unhappy and Cleveland goes back to remember a loss.
I get that, but I think this is the final straw.
Yeah, but remember a loss where no one wanted to talk to the media except for Kyrie, and there was like a meeting held in the locker room, a players only meeting in the locker room, and no one talked about what happened in that meeting except for Kyrie.
Very true. And when the Celtics were up against the Cavs in the Eastern Conference Finals last year, no one on the Cavs team was speaking to Kyrie.
Yeah. And there's a lot of players in this piece, the Jackie piece, former teammates now who are still in Cleveland, saying that they've seen him go through his ups and downs, but they won't elaborate. So, especially, I think it was, drawing a blank, Channing Frye. Who has a locker next to him.
Amon Shumpert
I think he spoke to him the most about, whatever was going on.
Well, another interesting part of the piece was in Irving's final season with the Cavaliers. There's a story about a conflict between him and Tyronn Lue. Lue was telling him to speed up a bit, play faster, so he can get faster shots. And then Irving replied, "I can get shots at any pace I want to." And Lue responded, No, this isn't about your shots. This is about speeding up the pace so you can get easier shots for guys like J.R. Smith and Richard Jefferson. Kyrie responded with, "Well, that's number 23's job."
There was definitely an issue between LeBron and Kyrie.
Yeah, but
here's the thing.
Let me ask you this though, and this is something we talked about right after the trade happened. Does the Tyronn Lue thing just scream LeBron James every time you think about it? I mean, that was his guy.
The reason why he became the head coach.
No one knows, or no one even really asked Kyrie to say, "Hey, do you miss David Blatt? Did you like David Blatt?"
He didn't seem to have a problem with David Blatt, but LeBron had him fired. LeBron had Paul Silas fired in his second season. I mean, how do you fire Paul Silas? I mean, listen, here's what it comes down to. Here, let's look at the proof. It's in the pudding.
David Blatt, he brought you to the finals.
The proof is in the pudding, right? Kyrie comes to Boston. Boston's a high-paced, fast-breaking team. Are they not? Right? That is Stevens likes to extend the floor, shoot a lot of perimeter shots, and a lot of transition. Mm-hmm. He loves ball movement, right? Why would Kyrie want to play for Brad Stevens if he was unwilling to do it for Lue? Now, all that might be true, and it may have been a blowout between LeBron and Kyrie, and he said, look, that's number 23's job. Right? But the fact of the matter is...
Does that make him selfish, though, or is that just him saying, I'm going to play my game?
It depends on the argument, but my point
I see where he's going,
yes, Go ahead.
The point is, if you've never asked me to do this pretty much since you've been here, why you ask me to do it now?
Why now?
In this particular practice. We don't know what the practice was after a loss or after a series of losses where he's trying to switch things up, and it's like, all of a sudden now it's not working with LeBron being the head of the pack. Now you want me to take over. No, it doesn't work like that.
Now I got to step my game up.
Exactly.
LeBron James not getting
because then what happens if that doesn't work? Oh, well, Kyrie's our leader.
Right.
Yeah. Kyrie's our leader. Kyrie's our point guard. Exactly. Right. Why every time LeBron loses, it's always, well, I did what I had to do.
Yeah.
I played my best. I averaged damn near a triple-double in the finals.
Right.
Take a look at everyone else.
I hit the biggest shot in Cleveland Cavaliers history.
Yeah.
Maybe it's up there in NBA Finals history and probably top 10. You know, so and there's Kyrie Irving. My thought.
I mean, Dan Gilbert called it the biggest shot of his life.
I mean, going back. Going back. I was looking at the situation like I'd never heard anybody not want to play with LeBron.
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
And I think I said that to you. It was something at one point, and I thought there's something not right here.
Yeah.
But then as the story comes together, and I think Media Day was the icing on the cake for me.
Yeah.
When LeBron was the kid, I gave this kid, I did this, I did.
Jackie mentioned that in the piece as well, that he didn't appreciate those pet names.
But that's the thing about Kyrie, though. Kyrie, he doesn't show much emotion. He's like, if things bother him, he just keeps going about his day.
Joel,
but you get to a limit, though.
When you're standing in a press scrum with Kyrie and he doesn't like what you're saying, he just does this to you, we all shudder.
Has that happened to you before?
It's happened to you.
No, he never does that. What are you talking about?
He just gives the
because of you, so he doesn't believe in Christmas.
That's it, man. He's
the nicest guy in the locker room. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
No, he is a nice guy. He doesn't like stupid questions, though.
That was a stupid question?
No, I wasn't even referring.
His face just changes up.
No, I didn't mean your question.
No. I mean, the truth of the matter is,
it should have been a frustrating loss.
It's his team now. He's carrying himself as a leader.
Yeah, I just think there was too many instances in Cleveland where he's just like, I can't just sit here and name them all.
You know, where there's smoke, there's fire. And in this scenario, there's not a lot of smoke because we have them here now.
Yeah.
And we're not seeing it now. It's only been half a season, so we'll see what happens.
Nick, what are the chances that he actually saw our holiday video and say, "Yo, this guy doesn't want me to go to his holiday party"? Is that why you're asking me these? Because I'll get too political.
He texted me.
Kyrie, don't take it personal, man. Just three people I had to invite.
He texted me and thanked me for inviting him to my holiday.
I thought after his first take appearance, I was like, he's gonna get the Boston media fits this year. But I mean, he's
been great.
He's slowly, like you're peeling the orange.
No, he's been undercover. And I think his career.
We'll see what happens when they ever drop 9 out of 10 or if they have
But it helps when you're winning. You know what I mean?
But tough questions really start coming along. We'll see.
Before you cut the segment, I want to bring up one more thing about the video tribute. So how would you feel if Rajon Rondo said, "Nah, I don't want a tribute. Unless my coach is going to play me max minutes that night, I don't want a tribute. Postpone it to the next time."
If he was injured or just
because?
Same exact scenario. He chose to play on the first night of a back-to-back, not to play here in Boston, yet he's going to dance. I guarantee you.
Nah, he would not want to play against Boston.
I guarantee you when we go over to the Garden, Isaiah's going to be everywhere. He's going to be seen as much as possible, right? You know it.
Probably.
You know IT. And I love IT.
I wouldn't have a problem with it. I think people are overhyping this video.
You didn't answer the question, though, Rondo.
I'm saying no. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't have a problem with it.
You would not have a problem. If it was Rondo, I would have had such
But I don't think he would, though.
Hold on, Joe.
I don't think he would.
That's the thing.
He wouldn't.
He would say, no, I'm playing.
He would say,
listen,
I'm playing.
He would want to
play. He would want to play.
The people who are most upset about this are the people who haven't liked Isaiah ever since this trade happened. Ever since he started.
That's not true.
It's 100% true.
It's not true. I like Isaiah a lot.
Okay, if Ray Allen did that, would you be as mad?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Oh, yes, I would.
No,
I wouldn't be surprised if he did it, though.
In my world, the only people that deserve to call the shots is Larry Bird, Bill Russell, and probably John Havlicek.
Calling the shots. If the Celtics,
he's calling the shots.
If the Celtics said no, I'd have no problem with that.
Yeah.
If the Celtics were like,
the Celtics obliged, so then who's...
Well, how did the Celtics not oblige? Is that we're going to do it anyway?
Because it goes back to, but it goes back to my point, though, about I feel like there's people in the Celtics organization, Danny Ainge included, who still feel bad. Not to say that they wouldn't pull the trade off again if they would. They still feel bad about how that ended.
I think it's a PR move, Joel. If they went and did the video,
then it would be on both parties.
For everyone who's
I don't think Danny Ainge
it's both parties.
I don't think that Danny Ainge feels even slightly bad.
He probably doesn't, but for everyone who has that anger towards Isaiah, it's misplaced, okay? If you're upset about the Celtics moving the video tribute, be upset with the Celtics. Be upset with the organization. Don't be upset with Isaiah.
Why?
Thomas.
The Celtics
Because if you really believe, if the Celtics believe the same way that a lot of these Isaiah haters, run it anyways. Sorry, Isaiah, it's either tonight or never. We're running it anyways.
That is a horrible PR move for the Celtics to do that.
instead of putting it on Paul Pierce night? Because that's the thing, right?
They haven't said whether they're going to put it on
exactly.
Paul Pierce.
That's the thing, yo.
They haven't. That's true.
They haven't said it.
I've heard as much so far as it could be
the
next
playoffs?
year or the playoffs.
Yeah. I can see it in the playoffs.
If I were Danny Ainge, I'd make them do it next season. I wouldn't do it during the playoffs. Are you kidding me?
I still think the playoffs is too late.
I'd do it next season. I'd say, all right, let's wait till next season's schedule will come out. You pick the date you could get your whole family here. Any ancestors?
It's just his wife and kids, man. That's it. No one else.
You know what, Isaiah? We'll do it before the game even starts. You get
the
arena. You can bring in your whole family.
Isaiah, we're going to create a fake Larry O'Brien trophy so you could pretend you've had as much of an impact on the Celtics franchise as the other guys who have deserved what they've offered him tonight.
Hey, he loves Boston, okay? That's
I love Isaiah. Boston loves Isaiah.
If it was any other city, he wouldn't make as big a deal about it.
Bullshit.
He loves it.
You're going to give him a standing ovation, don't lie.
Yeah, and I will. For sure I will.
Right.
I appreciate it.
I'll be rolling.
Before you get me out of here.
I'm trying.
I appreciate I appreciate everything Isaiah Thomas did for this franchise last year. Amazing. He deserves a video tribute. Yeah, no question.
Now you want to kiss his ass.
But not on Paul
Pierce. For this
Pierce,
opening segment of the College Street podcast, coming at you from the greatest bar, moments before tip-off, Celtics, Cavs, going down.
Isaiah Thomas.
At TD Garden. Isaiah Thomas in street clothes. Look out, guys.
I guarantee you he warmed up with the team.
Oh, yeah, he's been doing that.
Tonight he most definitely.
He's been doing that.
That's when they should have played the tribute.
He loves these rims. Okay, he scored over 50 points twice.
They should have made the tribute when he was warming up.
All right, we're out of here.
Thanks for having me, guys.